Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Apologies for my voice. I'm still recovering from being sick for the last week and a half. It's been a fun week and a half. Yeah, but we're here recording a video today, and today we're talking about audio specifically for weddings. So a couple of days ago, someone left a comment on my channel asking about the equipment that I use to record vows and speeches at weddings. And it kind of got me thinking, rather than writing some like super in-depth technical comment about all the different pieces of gear that I use and how I use them, why not just make a quick video explaining all the gear that I use, kind of walk you through my process of recording audio for wedding days. So let's just dive straight into it. The foundation of my audio kit for weddings is my Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. Now, I've had this mic for years, and honestly, for most of my films, this is the only piece of audio equipment that I feel like I truly need to record audio for my films. Because of the way I structure my films, I rarely have to record vows live during the ceremony, which means I can record those vows offsite in a more audio-controlled environment. And usually I do all of those recordings just with the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. Basically, I'll just clip the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus onto the top of my camera, plug it into the mic input, and then monitor that audio with a pair of headphones, and we're set. Speaking of headphones, the second major piece of audio equipment that I bring with me for every wedding are my Shure 535 in-ear monitors. These are high quality triple driver sound isolating headphones that allow me to monitor audio levels, check for background ambient noise, and simply make sure that the overall audio recording that I have coming into the camera is exactly how I want it to sound. As an added bonus, these Shure 535s are super small, so they can just like tuck into my backpack. They're not bulky like a big pair of headphones, but they have incredibly high audio quality. I honestly bought these like 10 years ago for stage monitoring when I'm playing live music, and they've been absolutely phenomenal. And just so you know, all the gear that I mentioned here will be linked in the description. So if you want to check that out, you definitely don't have to buy exactly the pieces of gear that I have, but if you want to check those out, all those are linked below. Between the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus and those Shure in-ear monitors, I can usually record everything I need to for the wedding day, between the vows and narration, as well as any ambient audio that I want to capture of people clapping, ambient natural noises, anything like that. But typically, my entire setup for the wedding day is the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus and those Shure in-ear monitors. However, there are definitely occasions when I get hired to make a speeches film or I have to record the entire ceremony live, so here's the equipment that I use to record that. So there's a few major components that make up my live recording kit, the foundation of which is my Zoom H6 audio recorder. So this is a multi-track audio recorder that allows me to record multiple inputs at the same time, while also recording ambient audio for like syncing and reference and post. So for ceremonies, I typically have the Zoom mounted to the tripod that has my static camera shot on it, and then I'll have mics plugged into that. And for receptions, I typically have this recorder sitting over by the DJ booth because I have a direct line input into the Zoom, but we'll talk about all of that in a second. So first off, let's talk about ceremonies. So for ceremonies, I typically record the vows and the officiant with my Sennheiser lavalier mics. Now, I'll probably be replacing these with the DJI mic kit sometime next year, but for now I'm using my Sennheiser lav mics, and these things have been phenomenal. Basically, I'll just mic up the groom or the officiant with the actual mics themselves, and then I'll plug the receiver into the Zoom, and I have a nice clean audio send directly from the lapel of whoever's talking directly into my Zoom recorder. Then also for ceremonies, I will have my Rode mic on top of my camera recording some ambient audio and some crowd noise, and I'll also have those Zoom ambient mics recording as well, so I can sync all 3 or 4 of those signals up in post. Now let's talk about receptions. So for receptions, I typically try to have a direct line coming in from the DJ's soundboard directly into the Zoom recorder. This gives me a nice clean recording of any of the mics, any of the audio sources that the DJ is using. But the problem is that audio equipment at receptions is notoriously finicky. I can literally count on one hand in hundreds of weddings now that I've shot when all the microphones and all the audio equipment at a reception has worked perfectly. And so it's really helpful and really important to have a backup, and that's when this little Sony micro recorder comes in. I actually clip this micro recorder to the microphone that's being used for the speeches with this little microphone sleeve. It just literally slides over the microphone, slide the recorder in there, turn it on to record, and this gives me a nice clean backup audio directly on the microphone. So no matter what happens with the wireless transmission or the soundboard or any of the signals, I have a nice clean transmission coming from literally the hand of the person who's holding the microphone. This doesn't record the actual microphone audio. It's literally just recording ambient audio, but it's very close to the speaker, obviously, because they're holding that microphone. So it just helps a ton to have a backup audio recording there. And then I'll use my Rode VideoMic Pro Plus on top of my static camera shot to record the ambient noise, people clapping, laughing, reacting, all those kind of things. And then I use that ambient source to sync all those signals up in post, and then just choose whichever signal sounds best for the speeches, whether that's coming from the DJ's soundboard directly or from that on mic little recorder. And that does it. That's all the equipment that I use to record audio at weddings. If you have any questions on any of that, feel free to leave a comment below. I'd be happy to answer those questions for you, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.